Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sonny Aigbe from A Boy and His Dream podcast. We have a very special guest in the house today. I am so privileged to introduce an amazing person, a person which I personally respected. With my whole heart. I have Miss Danita Patterson in the house today. I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sonny. It's a pleasure to be here.
I like it. This lady loves God. She loves people in the society in general. Definitely, she's a hard worker. She works so hard that she want to make you look as if you're not working. And you call yourself, this is what you call yourself, a Renaissance woman. And that defines energy, strength, power. Resilience. And we're going to get to that. You have your own, you're self-made. You have your own company, all right, called Destiny Unlimited Incorporation. And you've done a lot of production. You're a filmmaker. You're almost like everything that everybody wants in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. You've been featured in many TV stations, Fox, WGN, all sort of TV stations. And you partner with Disney. They also have most of your content, and they needed that. And they have everything. And you also have your 501c3 giving back NGO. You're strong in community development, creating, making new heroes, and all that. You make me look really, really like as if I'm just a beginner, which is fine. My mouth is full of appreciation for you right now. Back to your description, is like you, I don't know. Could you please just tell the audience who you are and how you want to be perceived? Welcome.
So thank you so much, Sonny. So for me, the word Renaissance I've been called a Renaissance woman. And growing up, I was very multi-gifted, and a multi-gifted person who then grows into the different areas that I've been able to be blessed and fortunate to pursue, but also to have some accomplishments in. Renaissance, when we think about the European Renaissance or even the Harlem Renaissance, these were people who had a certain amount of genius, creative genius, that expressed itself in different kind of ways. Arts and sciences, which I'm very fortunate to be in. Mm-hmm. I'm right brain, left brain, so I'm very ambidextrous. And both, yes. So I was just as proficient in math and science as I was in the arts. And so it's interesting when I think about Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci, and just Picasso. Many times that Renaissance word was people who were well-rounded in these different areas. And so that's some of the foundation of where Renaissance comes from. For me personally, I am a daughter of God. And from that seed has come lots of diversity of how I express all the gifts and graces and talents that I have. And so as a writer, a producer, a singer, a songwriter, a businesswoman, a speaker, and a trainer in my outreach work, to whom much is given, much is required. So for me, I love humanity. You said it very well. Yeah. I love God, I love people, and I love life. And so everything that's on the inside of me, my companies are Destiny Unlimited, which, because my destiny is unlimited, mm-hmm. and my outreach organization is Destiny Outreach, because I outreach to others for them to live their destiny as well.
I like it. You also work with Sonny, Sonny Record. It's a Sonny Record, right?
Sony. No, I actually consulted with them on the movie Heaven is for Real.
That's beautiful.
In development.
And that's one that they actually made up to $100 million mm-hmm. at that particular time. Mm-hmm. That's powerful. Looking at it, I'm gonna tackle it from the perspective. You speak strength. You add strength. You encourage strength. You advocate strength. So what is that driving force that's within you?
So for me, my confidence stems from a place of knowing who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's an evolution and a journey that continues for me. But the strength comes from God. I have to say that. It also comes from knowing that I have a vision. I have a purpose. I'm here for a reason. And I have a destination that I'm going to. And no matter what obstacles, no matter what the process may bring, I keep my eyes, focused on what is that end game. And so a lot of times, in the industry that I work in and living in Hollywood, as well as I'm a Chicago native, and so I love my hometown.
I love it.
And I'm bringing...
And you came back to
yes,
give back.
bringing more TV and film here. But, it's a tough industry. It's a very tough industry. It's a cyclical industry. So it's not the type of industry that 1 + 1 = 2. You may be up and down. And so you really have to know why you're doing, what's your why? Mm-hmm. Why are you doing this? And if you're doing it for someone else, if you're doing it just for money, if you're doing it just for power and prestige, that's going to come and go. So you have to have a different why. So for me, the strength that I have is that I have a vision. I have not only a dream, but I have a vision and I have a destiny. And I understand that that is more powerful than any paycheck and than any prestige or accolade that may come. Mm-hmm. That's fun and that's great to receive some of that praise. But it's the internal fulfillment
how you feel about
of knowing who I am and that I am expressing that in all the different dimensions of who I am.
Man, you're full of passion. So passionate. Okay, so this brings me to this. A Boy and His Dream, nonprofit foundation we founded in 2015 just to help the inner city kids out through scholarship, mentoring, make sure that those in college, make sure that once they get in, get a professional course, and make sure you finish and get out. Let's figure out how to place them in their various career. So many of them are in entertainment, and they're studying that they will end up being in that industry. A lot of them are scared. They're worried, like what you just described right now, that it's not easy, but it's doable. Only if you figure out you have to have the vision and also clear goal. Mm-hmm. So how do you encourage people who is already scared about what's ahead of them before they even attempt to even try? How do you even encourage them to go ahead and venture that route?
Absolutely. And so first of all, congratulations on the work that you are doing with your organization, because I'm very passionate about the next generation and the next gen leaders. And so that's what allowed me to found Destiny Outreach, where, answering your question, Destiny Outreach, we have a curriculum called Dreams and Destiny.
Okay.
Finding, fighting for, and fulfilling your dream are the pillars of that. And we bring the personal and professional development to them and workforce development.
My daughter is on that program.
Yes. So okay. Joy, who is a superstar and just a little renaissance young lady. She was just, brilliant in it. But to answer your question, when you start young, which I started young, you begin to be exposed. Career exposure allows you to experiment and discover what some of the possibilities might be for you. Mm-hmm. And also self-exploration. So we take it from both angles, the personal development and the professional development or workforce development. When you know who you are, it can lead to what to do with who you are. And sometimes people want a job, not a career or a business. And if they don't fully understand what they're getting into, then fear can come in.
True that.
If you already know what you want to do, or at least you're in the vicinity of it, then you can experiment without fear.
So fear is our biggest enemy.
Fear is it's false evidence appearing real. I was young in my 20s when I moved to Los Angeles. I'm an only child.
Can you repeat that statement?
You want to go back?
Fear
okay.
is what?
So fear is false evidence appearing real.
Wow.
We'll go down that path. There's also there was a title of a book. One day I was in the airport and it said, feel the fear and confront it, face it. And it taught me just by that title, I'm going to have fear at times, but confront it. Many times it's false evidence appearing real. And you feel that fear and then you do it and it's like, oh, that was nothing. And so I went to Los Angeles. I didn't know anyone. I was an only child, no family there. And I ventured out to Los Angeles and doors opened, and I landed my first job on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then started working directly for Will Smith. And so, but if I had been afraid that I've never lived in California, I've never lived on my own out in another city, and what am I going to do? That fear could have put a blockage in front of me, as opposed to the sky's the limit. If good. I don't try, if I don't do it, I'll never know. And so I say to all of your audience, give yourself a try. Believe in yourself and take the risk.
Steve Harvey always said, jump. Do the jump. No one can jump for you. You got to do the jump.
You got to do it.
Take that risk.
You got to do it.
I appreciate that. Also, boys, then that takes me down to when most of your content were actually bought by Disney.
Not bought by. So I consulted with Disney as a creative. Many times Disney has people they bring in that they respect with different disciplines.
That takes a lot of respect for them to pull you and say, we need your content.
Yes.
So that's why I put in there, but they had partnership with you. They had some sort of partnership relationship with you just because your creativity was so that good. So how did you make that? How did they discover you? How did you make that happen? What was the relationship?
So I came in to consult with them. Some of the things I can't share because one of the things I love about Disney is because they are one of the biggest games, and their confidentiality is similar to Apple.
Okay, strong.
They will tap creative minds, and they'll see people who are in the industry doing great things, who may have a sensibility, not only my creativity, but my sensibility of humanity and building and transformational media and transformational content, even for youth and for young adults. And so them tapping me of how can they do creative things a little differently. It's called blue skying, understanding how to kind of step out of, this is what we've been doing. How can we look 10 years, 20 years into the future? And as we look 10 to 20 years in the future, what do you think content should look like? And let's create to the future. And so I actually created 3 different pieces of content for them that was for the future that they've been rolling out in different parts.
That's beautiful. So I don't want to cut you short. We have to let people know who you are, because what they're looking for is they're looking for someone that's going to inspire them. Those youth are depending on you. And so many other amazing people out there. We must tell them what we do, not only showing them the result, we need to show them the process. That also many times, the process is not going to be that smooth.
No,
because what have discouraged so many people is those bumps on the road, and those challenges, those obstacles, those adversity they have to face, those walls they have to hit. They think that when they hit the wall, they have to give up. So what happened when you encounter those obstacles? Because I'm sure that it wasn't that smooth.
Absolutely.
So what are those obstacles?
Let's unpack that. Yeah. So first of all, there's one thing that I did want to touch before we go to the obstacles. Preparation and training. In order to reign, you need to train. And so my preparation is intense. Education, internships, working with hands-on experiences, and then having mentors and even what I call silent mentors. Maybe people I've never met, but through a book or through seeing their example, it's teaching me. So those silent mentors or those experiences that I'm able to have of also mentors help me to know when I hit that bump in the road or that brick wall comes to me, how did they get around it? What did they do? There are people who are overcomers, and if they can overcome it, I can overcome it too. So obstacles are going to always be there. Anything that is easy is everybody can do it. But when you're wanting to do something, where you're a trailblazer, you're a pioneer, there's going to be obstacles because no one's ever done what you're trying to do. And so many times you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the mission that you are on. And we have something at Destiny Outreach that we call Dream Keepers. Who are the dream keepers in your life? It may be your parents. It may be an uncle, an aunt, a coach, a friend, a teacher. Who are the dream keepers? Because those dream keepers will help you keep your dreams. And when you think, I'm going to give up, they'll say, you better get up and get back on that track there.
Yep.
So that's really important. I do want to share that I had a near-death experience. I was in the process of getting ready to do a $30 million film. Coming into the year, I'm on cloud nine, I'm excited. And then I had an unexpected experience happen where I got a shot and had an allergic reaction to it. I was one out of a million people who had an allergic reaction to the same shot that my other friends had the shot. And I almost died. And what you're seeing right now is a miracle that's sitting here talking to you.
Wow.
So, I'm an overcomer because I had something to live for. My vision spoke back to me. My dream spoke back to me when I was in the midst of having to heal and recover and know that there was life on the other side of this dark night of the soul.
That's amazing. Do you think that has something to do with your relationship with God?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's God in you. You speak God. Even when you go speaking engagement, everything you do is always God first. And then you stood out in everyone in the midst of whatever. I mean, I came looking for you because of what I saw, what I witnessed, and it's magnificent.
Thank you.
So the God in you, how can someone else is? I'm bringing God into it because without God, there's no one. How can people also embrace that? I mean, is it easy to embrace?
Yeah, for me, my relationship with God and my faith, it's a relationship. It's not a religion. And I think so many times the world has really dummied down what faith and what spirituality is by putting man's hands on it. My gift and who I am, God created me. So he has the handbook and the manual to how this Danita Patterson works. And so I have to go back to the manufacturer to say, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Why did you intentionally make me look the way I look, speak the way I speak, talents you've given me? What do you want me to accomplish before I take my last breath? And so I have a relationship with God as a person, as a father. He loves me. And so when I go through the toughest of situations, I know that he didn't always bring those tough situations, but he's with me in them. We live in a fallen world. We live in a world that has good and evil. And evil is going to happen, but God is going to be with us through it. I went through the earthquake in 1994 in California, but God was with me through it. I had never been through an earthquake. He was there with me. So I say to people, God loves us. He accepts us just as we are. He wants us to change and grow, but he's with us in that change and growth. And when you just allow it to be relational, it takes all the rules and regulations off and allows you to know, first and foremost, you are loved, you are believed in, you are accepted, and that fundamentally in your core being, that will allow you to and say, okay, world, I'm ready for you because God and I, we can do this thing.
He gave me
Bring
the power
it,
to do
bring
it.
it.
Brings me to this, you're talking about strength and be bold and take risk, go for what you want, go for your dream, involve God. Me sitting down here right now with some person of such caliber of yourself, it makes me wonder, how many people are there right now just wanted to venture, and because of fear, they can't. And if I was afraid, I would not be able to even want to partner with you, even reach out to say, hey, can you meet me? Hey, can you come on the podcast? And so I believe that anyone who actually want to grow, they have to actually use the strength that God gave them within them. It's within them. You were born with that gift, so tap into it. So what are the challenges that anyone looking to get into the entertainment industries, what are the challenges that they may face out there? Because I know they're out there.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to one who is already in it yesterday. He was like, man, there are a lot of economic situation and social issues right now affecting the entertainment industry. I'm giving up. I said, no, you're not. I said, everything that goes up, it will always come down. Every problems will always change. It's not going to remain forever. So what are the challenges, those challenges, obstacles that they might face coming in because they're afraid?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, first of all, the entertainment industry is vast and there's different levels and areas to it. So sometimes just the lack of knowledge and the ignorance of what is entertainment, like that's a big umbrella, right? That can just create fear because you don't even know what is this entertainment industry. The second thing is it's very competitive. And so if we think of the NBA, right, it's very competitive. It's a lot of people trying to get in. If we think of, the film industry or the television business, there's a lot of people that are coming from all over the world to America to work in that. So there can be a fear that, am I enough? Can I do it? There's always going to be somebody who may be more beautiful than you, taller than you, this than you, or whatever. But it's not about that. What do you have?
Well, how does that affect them psychologically? Because it's real.
It's very real. Well, that's why people, many times people compare. People do a lot of comparison. And I think that really, and social media coming into existence in 2010 just amplified it. When you are constantly comparing yourself to, am I as good as Sonny? Can I do what Sonny does? I am inspired by people. I don't want to be you. I'm inspired by what you do. I'm inspired by an Oprah Winfrey, but I don't want to be Oprah Winfrey.
You want to be you, be authentic.
And so I learn, how did Oprah get through this? And Oprah went in public. Oprah went through struggles, and she, had fears, but she showed up every day. She continued to do it. And so you've got to say, fear,
get off my way.
And just do it. Because if you fail, okay.
And get back and do it again.
Get back up and do it. When we learned to ride a bike, we fell off the bike, and then now some of us were doing handstands, our feet on the seat doing. You can start advancing, but you've got to start someplace. So the challenge is that it is a complicated industry. It is a lot of competition in the industry. There are a lot of people who may hate on you. They're haters.
It's
so
crazy.
If you don't believe in yourself, and then I will say this, like to the friend that you were speaking about, this industry is not for everyone. So it is not for everyone.
Is it only for the strong or for those who believe in themselves and also strong?
It's for people who understand what they're going into.
Okay.
If you want to be a doctor, you need to know what it entails to be a doctor.
It is a beast.
It's a beast. And so the entertainment industry, you do need resilience. It is a cyclical industry. We don't work 9 to 5.
No.
We work 9 to 12
all the
in
time.
the morning.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go.
We may work 6 months and be off 6 months. We get a big check, and then you may have a downtime. So you are an automatic entrepreneur when you get into the entertainment industry because you're an independent contractor, unless you are an entertainment lawyer, or if you're in more of the business, corporate side of entertainment. You are an entrepreneur. And if you don't know that and you just want to be artsy-fartsy and let me just create and everything will take care of itself on the business side, you'll be broke and you won't have what you need in order to continue to undergird your craft. So there's so much lack of knowledge that people have wanting to go into this industry that creates the fear. So do you know how to fix that? Get knowledge. Read books about our industry. Talk to people who are doing it and see how they navigated some of those pitfalls so that maybe you don't have to be in those pitfalls. And then stop comparing yourself and see, what do I have to offer to this industry? What am I bringing? Destiny Unlimited, my company now, I've done it for others. Now I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing media on purpose. That's my lane. My lane is bringing family content, inspirational content, and family-friendly content that is empowering a progressive audience of people.
Yes.
I grew up with a lens of multicultural and humanity and understanding commonalities, but celebrating our differences. So I put that in the TV and the film and the projects that I'm doing. And so for me, that's my lane. And what makes me different, and bringing that difference to others so that I can know, this is Tyler Perry's lane. This is Danita Patterson's lane. This is Oprah's lane. This is Steven Spielberg's lane. This is Tom Cruise's. Everybody has a lane.
Yeah,
what's your lane?
Yes, create it, develop it.
Develop it, and don't be afraid, but do your work. Do your homework. Know your craft. And when you know your craft, you can bring that craft in such a tremendous way where people say, there's something different about you. When I moved in my 20s to Los Angeles, people knew there was something different about me.
And you were respected for that.
And they respected me, but I also equally respected them.
Amen.
And when I did have problems, I would have what I called informational meetings. I would say, Will, can I sit down with you? I'd like to have a conversation with you and see what it's like being in multiple aspects of the media.
Okay.
Those were informational meetings. Just give me 15, 20 minutes of your time. Those conversations helped me to understand what I didn't know. Because what I've learned, Sonny, is you don't know what you don't know.
True that. Until
and
you know
if
it,
you're too prideful
you will never
to
know.
ask a question or to act like you know something you don't know and everybody else know you don't know it, just humble yourself and say, how do you do this? I'm curious. I don't understand this. And then be willing to listen and to learn and to include that into your journey and your path.
Wow. That's heavy. That's heavy. I think, you know what, I'm glad that we're doing this. You said you don't know what you don't know until you come to realize that you truly don't know it. You know, how many people out there right now who is willing to be told what to do? Do you know that attitude also is the bigger killer of dream? Because of attitude, many people are not growing.
Yeah.
They think they know it all. They cannot be told what to do. And yet you're able to humble and take humility because you are looking at the bigger picture, which is called growth. So hopefully they're able to utilize the content. It becomes valuable for them and important to them. Because one thing you need to understand, what I've personally experienced in this modern world society is the fact that our modern society don't want to learn, they don't want to be told what to do, and yet they want to grow. And I don't think it's possible. You cannot grow until you know you have the skill set. If you don't have the skill set to do what's required of you, you get kicked out. Because if I think I'm Sonny, there are 2,000 Sonny in LA, and there are thousands of Sonny who are better than Sonny in LA. So this is why I try to be humble, but not overly humbled, so that you also don't kill your talent. Because being humble is one thing. Being overly humble, you cannot speak up when you're supposed to speak up. So hopefully they can listen. Hopefully they can reach out to you personally. How can they reach out to you? And what is your program all about? Is your program only targeting young adult, or is it for everyone? Is it for high school student, or is it for university student, or is it for working class everyone? So how can people reach out to you, especially those in the entertainment industry or those who are wanting to go into that industry and just like kind of dreading the process and don't even want to attempt it? Where can we find you?
So Destiny Outreach, we work as a service provider with existing organizations, schools, universities, as well as faith ministries.
Okay.
And so we work with 12 to 17 and 18 to 35 plus. So we tend to work in that space of the personal development, helping them to develop their ultimate potential in life, school, and work, and then exposing them to careers in entertainment, technology, and business. Mm-hmm. So destinyoutreach.org is our website. I can also be reached, through Danita Patterson, my website, where people can kind of learn my multi-platform where I entertain, inspire, as well as empower. And so I do work with adults outside of Destiny Outreach. I've been blessed to be a leader to other leaders, consulting celebrities and working with people outside of working in TV and production that we're, going from development right now into production on my own personal content. I work as a consultant with other people developing their content at times and consulting with them. So I work with people, but I segment where Destiny Outreach is focused on building next generation leaders. So, they can reach me through Destiny Outreach's website.
Which your information is going to be on the content that we're creating. We have it, and that's beautiful. And I want to thank you for coming to the show today for this episode. And again, it is my pleasure, and I'm happy that you're able to make it. It is our honor.
Thank you.
And I would like to have you back again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sonny. I appreciate you, and continue the beautiful work that you're doing and impacting. If I can just say one last word to those who are listening.
Yes,
is that okay?
Absolutely.
To all those who are out there, you have a dream, you have a vision, and you have a purpose. And I just want you to know that life is going to be there. But process is a part of the journey. And the journey will get you to the destination. But there's so much joy on the journey, even when it comes with the bittersweet understand that it'll be sweeter and fulfilling if you fight for, and fulfill your dreams.
I love it. Appreciate it. This is how we're going to close the episode. I usually will give a quote, and the quote came from her. And we're going to just leave it like that. I appreciate you.